remember the first day that we met. You were working at the snack bar, and I just started at Hedwig House. I went up to come buy a soda. You were so customer service oriented and polite. I asked you if you thought about working, and you had shared with me that you hadn't had a job in 10 years, and you were open to the possibility, but you weren't sure if you could do it.
Yes, I remember we talked a lot about customer service and different kinds of jobs available. And at first you helped me fill out an application for a volunteer position at Clusters, and I was very appreciative of that. When we went for the tour, I was very nervous and I didn't think I was ready to work again. You went to the volunteer position with me so that I would feel more comfortable. Volunteering at Clusters made me realize that I could handle a paid position again. It would be nice to earn extra money.
Very true. That's right, you were worried that the position would be too fast-paced, but it was actually fun sorting all the donations. It was.
Yes, it was. It helped me decide that I might like to apply to retail positions, but it was overwhelming because I didn't have the computer skills to apply online. You helped me create a resume and helped me apply to jobs online as well.
Do you feel like you have more computer skills to use day to day?
Yes, I do,
Okay.
because I need to use a computer at work to print off my copies of my timesheet each month to fax to the Social Security office.
Very true. So you've had a few interviews prior to being offered the position at Burger King. Do you think it was helpful for us to practice interview skills together?
Yes, I think that it was very helpful. I also liked how you went to the interviews with me and helped me with the new hire paperwork for my job.
That's true. Do you remember your start date for
That-
Burger King?
That was on March 6, 2015. I had 2 face-to-face interviews with Jamar before being offered a position working the register at Burger King.
Do you mind sharing a few reasons why you like your job at Burger King?
I love feeling productive, earning extra money, and being able to live on my own. And plus, it only takes 5 to 10 minutes to walk to my job, and I work daytime hours as well.
Perfect. What do you think was your biggest motivation for wanting to work?
Well, the biggest motivation was to move out on my own. I was living at Kime Street Apartments in Pottstown for 10 years. It was a supported living environment, and I felt I was ready to move out on my own. I knew that you were helping other people find apartments, and when the opportunity came to move in with a person I had known since first grade, I knew it could be an option for me too. But my sister said I couldn't move in until I found a part-time job. That was most important. Luckily, I was able to start working in March, and I moved in with my roommate by May 12th, 2015.
It was a lot all at once. It was nice that you had the support of your family and friends. What do you think was most important and most helpful when we were working together?
Well, I think that you were instrumental in helping me with organizing and packing my belongings. It was great that you and my sister, brother, and all helped me to move into my new apartment. Everyone was so supportive and made it a lot easier to manage.
It's very helpful you had your family. What do you like most about living independently?
I have a great community of friends that live in my apartment complex. We get together to go grocery shopping and eat out at dinner. It is really fun to decorate my new apartment and to have a roommate to check in with. And if I'm going to be late, I call my roommate so that she doesn't worry.
I'm so proud of how far you've come in such a short time. You've had a lot of big changes. Do you have any advice for anyone thinking about finding a part-time job or living independently?
Well, what I want to say is to take all the support you can so that it isn't so scary. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Just remember that you can do it too.
Very good advice. Thank you, Debbie.
Hi, so my name is Jen Pollard, and I'm one of the individual prep practitioners for Norristown, and I meet with people on an individual basis, typically once a week. When I think about successes with this program, one of the people that comes to mind is Phil. We've been working with him for a little over a year, and it was sort of difficult for us to identify what it is that he wanted to work on, what goals he had. So one day we were at a park earlier in the summer, and a gentleman had walked by with the dog. We were there having a picnic lunch. The gentleman walked by with the dog, and it sparked a conversation about Phil's love of animals, which I hadn't known before then. And so being at that park gave us the opportunity to have that conversation. And so I asked him at that time, had he ever heard of Kitty Cottage, which is a cage-free cat shelter in Norristown. And he hadn't heard of it, so I told him all about it. He seemed very excited, which was awesome because I hadn't really seen him get excited about too many things. And so I said, well, let's schedule a time to go over there and check it out. And he said, let's go now. So we drove over there. And then when we got there, they were unfortunately closed. So he was sort of disappointed, but I had scheduled to take him the next week. And he called me 6 times that morning to make sure that I was still coming, which was awesome because I don't think that he's ever called me on his own before that. So we went that day and we checked it out. They gave us a tour. We filled out the paperwork together and he signed up. And so he's been volunteering there ever since July. And it's just been awesome to see him interact with people more and be excited and be happy. And wanting to go every week. He's interacting with the other staff and the volunteers more every time that we're there. He's learning skills that he can transfer into his home life, sweeping and mopping and laundry. Last week we folded some laundry and linens and put them away in the closet, and he identified that that was the first time he'd actually ever done that. So that was pretty cool. And he's just so affectionate and loving to the animals. And it's just awesome to see him build that emotional connection to his environment. And, I just think that we don't know what people are capable of until we give them these opportunities to explore in their environment and see what things they might enjoy. And he's just doing awesome there and he loves it. So it's awesome to be a part of that. This is Phil. So when Phil and I first get here in the morning, what we do is we pick the litter boxes up off the floor. We get those scooped out, refilled, right? If they're low, we have to refill them, so we have to be mindful about that. We pick up everything off the floor. By the time we come here in the morning, it looks like they've partied all night. There's like stuff everywhere. So we pick everything up so that we can sweep and mop, which Phil is excellent at. And we ferminate the cat trees. So we use the ferminator brush to make sure that all the fur is off, just to keep them nice and clean every day. Do you want to show them what we do for the ferminating? You just have to be mindful because there's usually cats everywhere. Hi. This one's Cadbury. He's very, very playful.
He's bad.
And what that does is it just gets all the extra fur and loose stuff off of it, so we can just keep it nice and clean in here since there's so many cats.
Hi, my name is Susan Hayes. I'm the Director of Special Housing Services for Hedwig House. I'm here with Michael Laganelli. I met Michael in October of 2006 at the CHOC, which is a homeless outreach center. And he was working at Advanced Auto Center. When I met him, he used to ride his bike every day to work and work a full job and work circles around people, and then he would come back to the CHOC and do the same thing all over again the next day. Michael was recommended by the CHOC staff to be part of our special housing services, where we provide a rental subsidy. Michael was able to find an apartment, and he moved into his apartment in December of 2006. Through this program, he was able to continue to work, pay a portion of his income towards his rent. He was able to find his own apartment, which he kept and is still keeping immaculately. He was able to reunite with his son. Michael is an ideal tenant. He always paid rent on time. Like I said again, his apartment is immaculate. Even though he was working a full-time job, not always being able to have enough income to maintain his apartment and maintain an apartment. So one of the things that help with the program is providing a rental subsidy. At one point in the time that Michael's been on the program, he was laid off from his job, and then shortly afterwards he became sick, so he wasn't able to work at that time. So being a part of the program, you don't have to work. It's encouraged, and being able to not have income is helpful to have this program so that you can have your apartment. So I just want to ask Michael how being a part of the Hedwig House rental subsidy program has been beneficial to you. So Michael, how important has it been for you to be part of Hedwig House's rental subsidy program?
It's been very important in that, as you said, I was working and I tried very hard. I was kind of shocked to meet you and that I was given that opportunity to be subsidized by Hedwig House. As you also said, it was a little difficult to do it on my own. And I did get sick. You were there. The Hedwig House has basically been a solid base and backbone for me, and for me to grow off of that, to become the person I always was, a hardworking person, and to move on and get on with my life. And if anybody has the opportunity to get with the program, I'm sure that would help anybody else, but you have to work for it, and I did work for it, and it's proven itself over and over to me. And I consider myself very lucky to be part of the program.
Hello, my name is Karen Bidding, and I am the Chief Executive Officer of Hedwig House. The mission of Hedwig House is to provide support and assistance to individuals with mental illness in pursuit of independence and personal fulfillment. Since 1975, Hedwig House has been providing fellowship, vocational training, and long-term housing to individuals with mental illness. We are a private, nonprofit organization working in partnership with the Montgomery County Office of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities and Magellan Health Services. Services are also supported through the generosity of foundations, businesses, and individuals who support our mission. Hedwig House offers 2 psychiatric rehabilitation services, Hope Academy and PrEP. Hope Academy is a licensed program serving young adults aged 18 to 30. In this program, participants choose a specific goal in one of the life domains, either living, learning, working, or social. This goal then becomes the cornerstone of his or her recovery-focused service. Participants take part in classes, individual practitioner meetings, and community exploration related to his or her recovery goal. Class sizes are limited to allow for focused work among all participants.
Hello, my name is Michelle Edgecombe, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Hedwig House. In the PrEP, Psychiatric Rehabilitation Education Program, participants choose goals in their living, learning, working, and social environments. The focus is on individual functional skill, development, enhancement, retention, and transference to real-life tasks and settings. Services are provided on an individual and group basis. Hedwig House's special housing services work in conjunction with the Montgomery County Office of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities, as well as Montgomery County's Your Way Home. Through rental subsidy programs, special housing services enable individuals with mental illness and families to find and maintain safe and affordable housing.
Dear Hedwig House, happy 40th anniversary. We are so happy there is a Hedwig House, and thank you for all you've done for our daughter Linda over the years. You've given Linda confidence, guidance, housing, kindness, and so much more. We appreciate all of you and all the time. We love what you do. Sincerely, Bill and Marie.
Dear Hedwig House, teens and young adults with mental illness usually fall between the cracks because they often experience symptoms just as they are transitioning from childhood to adulthood. They lose contact with their friends, and the mental health programs available are generally geared towards children or older adults. Thanks to the Hope Academy program, my son receives the special assistance he needs with basic life skills, which can allow him to function better in social, occupational, or educational settings. The staff at Hope Academy is considerate, professional, and friendly. They provide services one-on-one and in group settings. They go out of their way to accommodate everyone, choose relevant topics, and present them in a concise and enjoyable manner. I contacted Hope Academy in May of 2013 to see if Brian, age 25 at the time, could enter their program. He suffered from paranoia and social anxiety, and I wasn't sure he would agree to attend, so they invited him to accompany them on a day trip to a dairy farm. This was a good introduction to the group for him because it was fun and helped him feel at ease with everyone.
Brian's first goal was to get a job. Based on my lived experience with him and a functional rating given to him 6 months earlier, I was not very optimistic that this goal was obtainable or at least sustainable. I was proven wrong. Within a year, supported by Hope Academy, Brian secured a position with Walmart and has been employed for 8 months so far. He loves his job and feels that he has a purpose in life. Hope Academy has helped him put together a resume, apply for jobs, and took him on follow-up visits with store managers, provided interviewing skills training, and also helped him get acclimated into the workplace once he was hired. Brian's second goal was to move out into his own apartment by himself. He and his practitioner are currently exploring housing and transportation options, as well as discussing area he needs to work on in order to achieve this goal, such as budgeting, time management, self-care, etc. In addition to the formal goals, Hope Academy was able to help get Brian comfortable with riding a SEPTA bus on his own and dancing at formal events. As a result, his confidence and interaction with other people has increased quite a bit. I highly recommend Hope Academy's programs and staff members. They have been a major key to Brian's recovery and invaluable to me, helping him with things I was unable to help him with. I'm amazed at how quickly it has all happened. Sincerely, Mary.
Hi, my name is Craig Schrodding. I'm a customer operations manager for Giant Markets here in the community, and we employ a lot of the Hedwig House members in our day-to-day associate teams. We actually have become one-on-one with them, and they have become an intricate part of our business and our community as well. It helps them, it helps us, and that's what it's all about.
My name is Daniel. When I first started Hope Academy, my original goal was to become a volunteer fireman. I eventually ended up getting a volunteer position at the library. And I'm now working on a working goal, which I have some areas in mind, like GameStop and Walmart. There's been some struggles and some hard times getting to where I want to be, but Hope Academy has helped me greatly achieve my goals.
Hi, I'm Diana. Actually first time going to Hope. I met with Emma first to figure out who my practitioner is. Actually Julie is my practitioner. We were working on a social goal, and then my mom suggested doing a living goal because I am looking for an apartment and trying to find a full-time job. Right now, I put an application in and didn't get the job because 2 people were ahead of me. And instead of the apartment I was looking at, my caseworker is going to help me look for CRR. So that's what I'm doing.
Great, good
job. Hello, my name is Stephen Gamella. Ever since I started at Hope Academy, I've been working on social goals, just trying to get out into public places more and meet new people, which I had difficulty getting out of college. And once I left college, I really didn't have much social contact because I had moved into Pennsylvania from New York, and most of my friends were up in New York. So during my time at Hope Academy, there has been much progress. I'd like to report on that. There's been people have really helped me get out into the community, make better connections in my own community now, and to find groups of people. And my goals are to actually publish this book that I've been working on, which is nearing completion. I'm getting the first draft of it back from the editors probably on Sunday, and probably get into my own apartment and get a job. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So overall, you guys are satisfied and happy with the progress to this point from Hope Academy with
Yep.
getting the
Yes.
support? Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for the help.
Thank you for the help.
No problem. Absolutely.
Hi, my name's Steve. We're here at Hedwig House's kitchen unit. Right now we're working on making a lasagna. And as you can see behind here, all the members here are working on the different steps that it takes to put it together lasagna.
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's wrap.